Hello, warm welcome to everyone to another Crow Expert Hour brought to you by MICCI. Hello there, I am Sean Chia, the Executive Director of MICCI, the Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the longest established chamber in Malaysia, championing businesses since 1837. We are more than 180 years old. Do we keep up with the times? Yes, we certainly do. We continue to bring to our members new updates, and this is one of those things that we're talking about today. But before we start, here's some housekeeping rules. Those that are logged on in Facebook, you can leave your questions in the comment section, and those in Zoom, you can put it down in the chat box, right? Without further ado, today's topic is latest tax immigration updates affecting employers. We had a series talking about tax, employer tax, and immigration issues. So today we are going to have some updates on these policies in terms of the tax and immigration issues with for employers, right? And some of the key highlights of today's webinar includes what has been happening for the past 6 months and what are the latest updates that will affect you as employers. As I've said that we had another session, few sessions earlier, and it was talking about the same subject. There are some updates to the subject at hand. Okay. As usual, what we want to do is, if the takeaway for today is for the employers to know and how to react to these updates that are coming on. We are also seeing a lot of, I would say, rumors of things being mooted and stuff like that. So maybe we should be really be prepared for a lot of stuff that's going to come on board, right? Today's live Zoom webinar, we have with us, as always, Global Mobility Services Director, Miss Mona Lisa Muhammad Ali, very experienced campaigner, 16 years handling company, cross-border, personal, expatriate, immigration matters, tax matters, all manner of stuff across all industries, and also a member of the Chartered Tax Institute, and a HRD Corp certified trainer. Mona Lisa, are you ready?
Hi.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let me share my screen. You can see my screen, Sean. Great. Thank you so much, Sean. All right. Okay, I think without further ado, I would say that, of course, first of all, Assalamualaikum to all Muslim, and very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, Sean. Okay, now we meet it again. Okay, I just would say that thank you so much for the introduction. It's great to be speaking with all of you today. As mentioned, I will share and present to you about the latest tax and immigration updates affecting employers. Okay, for both areas, actually it's important for employer to ensure that you are able to implement and managing the risk when you have the expatriates employees, or even, you do have a local employees, especially relating to the tax, domestic tax. Okay, so we are having the collaboration with MCCI. And I would say that thank you so much for organizing this such good event for sharing purposes. And my name is Mona Lisa. I'm the director in charge for Global Mobility Services Division of Crow Malaysia. Yes, of course, like Sean says, that I'm handling expatriate, personal tax, employment tax, payroll, and immigration. So if you do have any queries or any issues relating to this area, please reach out to me. Okay, so please also bear with me until to the end of the session. Okay, so today's session, I just want to have a very quick one for the latest. I will share with you on the latest updates on the immigration and of course the tax. And before we end the session, we have a Q&A session, all right? And I try my best to answer all the questions, but if you feel, if there is a question is still, unanswered, maybe please feel free to email me personally, Mona Liza, right? My name is MONALIZA @crow.my, and you also may contact MCCI team member, and they will share the question and email back to me, and I'll try my best to answer and assist you if possible. Right? So, all right, let's see what are the latest immigration updates, especially we are moving to the endemic phase. Okay. What actually the impact and also the challenges during the transition period? It's a prior to the endemic phase. What happened? I would say that is some early of the year, or early of the COVID phase. I think most of us trying to try very hard to make sure that we work as best as possible and in line with the law and regulation, correct or not? And towards the end, I can say it's better and getting better, and now we are going and moving on to the endemic phase. So why not we just share a bit what happened prior to the endemic phase? All right, I believe all of you actually will encounter this during that period. Okay, the prior that we are during the COVID, earlier COVID pandemic, there is a lot of rules and regulation needs to be in place in order for people to come to Malaysia or even exit Malaysia. So of course, when we talk about exit, return or entry permits during that time, okay, all of us needs to obtain the approval from the Malaysian Immigration Department, MID, via My Travel Pass system. Correct or not? If you can still remember the early stage of the implementation, right? I can say that there is a restriction and also the new regulation during the movement control order, and there were extensive application and delay in processing time for approval for this MTP, My Travel Pass. Okay, at that time, maybe around September, October 2020, there is the issue come out kind of hoo-ha, and made attention to the local and also international media. During that time, they said, oh, that is causing a delay in the travel to and from the country, all right, and that the MTP requirements are not made in public. So this was happened during that time, and from time to time, MID improving the system and increase their task force to ensure that to expedite the process, and so the people can come in and exit Malaysia during that period. Okay, then of course, travel ban for few countries, stages by stages. I always say that every period we can say, okay, these countries add on to the list, this country add on to the list. Okay, so there is a countries where can or strictly, not allowed to be travel into Malaysia, and the work permit has been approved. All right, those has been approved, but travel ban for the few countries like China last time, India, Bangladesh, South Africa, due to the high COVID cases or even the new variants of COVID, all right, for that countries. So our Ministry of Health says that cannot ban and ban. Okay, so there is the difficulties when the requirements or needs of the workforce. Okay, we need their specialties, and that's why the employer having a problem during that period. Yeah, I understand. We are trying our best, okay, like I said, but there is a now we are already in endemic, maybe something much better, I would say. And during that period, stranded in Malaysia, most of the foreigners, All right, there is no flight ticket to go back to the home country, and need to obtain the support letter from the respective embassy in Malaysia, and somehow need to obtain the special pass because of the overstay. Since, during that early period, okay, then the embassy, those are countries, the embassy in Malaysia, there actually is an important role to inform all the nationalities, all right, who's actually in Malaysia. So, okay, during this period, until to this period, you can stay in Malaysia, all right, even though your pass has been lapsed, something like that. But then of course, as employer must ensure that once your permit is going to expire, you must do something about it. Okay, otherwise, if anything happen, of course, there is not only the penalty, but we are afraid on the any raid or any inspection by the MID during the period. But I can say that, there is the relaxation towards it because due to the travel restriction. Okay, so during that period as well, last time, if you can remember, okay, the government actually set up, okay, one stop center, OSC, okay, on effective 2nd October 2020 last time. This is to ensure that to ease the movement of business travelers. Is either short-term business traveler, is the long-term business travelers, by expediting the approval of their entry to do a business in Malaysia. Okay, so of course, during that period as well, the Business Traveller Center, to facilitate this to the incoming business traveller entering the Malaysia at the KLIA. They set up the one center. And of course, this is some of the, I would say, challenge and also the cost incurred, due to this arrangement that the employer needs to bear if they need people, expatriate to come over, having meetings, inspection, or even, travel in Malaysia to do the business. So they need to incur additional costs on this, which is need to be borne by the sponsor or host company, and of some of the issues that we receive a kind of feedbacks when we are dealing with our expats, because I'm handling immigration services. So when we talk about, when we have a discussion or chit chat with the expatriates, when during the period they come over to Malaysia, and they say that, somehow it's not convenient for them because there is one person actually needs to follow them for anywhere that this person needs to go, all right, especially during the meetings. So somehow it's maybe PNC things. So, but then they need to make sure that the officers are there as well. Okay, so to make sure that to control the movement of this expatriate, so that's why expat says that something is not convenient, I would say. So I can't go anywhere, of course, I just stay in the hotel. But then when the minute I need to go to the office or the place that I need to do the work, so this is where the inconvenience come in. Okay, so anyhow, leave it that. Okay, what happened during the transition for the endemic? Okay, so what I can say here, they already abolished the exit, written, and entry permits. Okay, so just a release to employer, I would say this is an additional step, so you can exclude it. Okay, since it's abolished, no more travel ban. Okay, all the countries, nationalities can come over. Of course, there is a certain of restriction like Israel, North Korea, but there is no more issue of stranded in Malaysia. Okay, but I still heard that if an expatriate wants to go back to the home country, they still need to look for the flight. So early or beginning of April like that, if I'm not mistaken, there is some flights happen. Okay, there is no flight to go back to their home country. So it still needs to stay here in Malaysia. So, but then I believe for now, there is no issue at all due to the stranded in Malaysia. So, and of course, the abolishment of the OSC, typo there, OSC, the one-stop center, right? There is no more. There is no people or some of officer to follow the expatriate during the travels or business in Malaysia. They already abolished it. Okay, so here what we can say that it will be no more overstay case. Should be. I can say there should no more overstay cases. Okay, unless there is some of the special case that needs to stay here in Malaysia. And aspect of when the minute that government says that okay, effective 1st April 2022, reopen, okay, for travel. So everybody can go out. So the expatriate needs to leave Malaysia immediately if the work permit has been cancelled or expired already. Okay, then due to this, restriction for the issuance of the special pass will happen right now. Okay, if you have, due to the overstay case, you need to apply for the special pass. I would say that it's very hard to obtain the special pass. Okay, and of course, if due to the last minute cancellation of flight to the home country or other case, which is approved based on case by case basis, maybe you are able to get the special pass. Okay, in the MID office, the operation by right, there will be no more processing delay in the processing of the work permit, and the operation is as usual. Okay, but we need to follow, of course they will follow the SOP like wearing mask, etc. But the operation likes the processing, okay, of the application and others business center to help out on the permit, visas, I think should be already operate as usual before COVID. Okay, so something's new, is not new, I would say, okay, but this e-visa is an online application platform that enables the nationals to apply for an electronic visa to enter Malaysia at the comfort of their convenience. So effective 15 November 2021 and still apply until now. Okay, you must use this, right, My Visa system, which is e-visa, and has been extended to all the respective nationalities, like I said, and is made compulsory by the MID, Malaysian Immigration Department. So you need to apply for the e-visa once the approval and the visa of reference, VDR, letter are obtained. So you need to go to this website, all right, complete and apply that e-visa. Then they says that, okay, the processing time around 2 working days, but they also advise that to apply this e-visa at least 2 weeks prior to departure, okay, to Malaysia. So before you depart from that country, okay, to come over Malaysia, 2 weeks before that, better you get this e-visa. Okay, the e-visa actually can be applied from any country except Malaysia, Singapore, Israel, and North Korea. So I can say that around expatriate or nationalities from 138 countries or nationalities can apply for this e-visa. And the validity, they said, okay, the validity is the 3 months from the date of the issuance of this e-visa printout. Okay, so this is what's happened now, and we must do this, okay, in order to allow people to come over and work here in Malaysia. Okay, so you want to come over here, then the employer, you must aware about this, and this arrangement you need to inform to your expats, okay, to make sure that they are able to come over and enter to Malaysia or exit Malaysia. Yeah, all right. So somehow, since the Malaysia reopened their international borders on 1st April 2022, subsequent to the announcement made by the Malaysian Ministry of Health on 24th March, government says, okay, open the international border. right? The travelers from all the countries can come over to Malaysia. And they said all these, right? Item number 1 until 7, we discontinue it. Discontinue, no longer applicable. So they said there will be no longer high risk countries list. Okay, so due to the variants, for example, South Africa last time South Africa, Australia, USA, UK last time under the high risk country list, so they are not be able to come over Malaysia, but then this is already discontinued. Okay, now all the travelers from these countries, okay, like South Africa, Australia, USA, UK, now allowed to enter Malaysia already. Okay, so there will be no more digital tracker. This is the device, right? This is a digital tracking device for international travelers from the high risk COVID-19 countries. Okay, and they needs to wear it, okay, throughout the home surveillance and quarantine period. So I think there will be no more. Okay, there is no more digital tracker. Then they already discontinued. So I can say that this is also, if I'm not mistaken, is also additional cost towards that. Okay, so I think this is no more. So good for us. Then no need to track and do the quarantine. Okay, they also says the home quarantine application also discontinued, no longer applicable for this home quarantine application. And of course, MIDA OSC, yeah, one-stop center program also discontinued. And there will be no more Langkawi international travel bubbles. Okay, last time, remember, if I'm not mistaken, during 2021, okay, they actually have a Langkawi international travel bubble to attract tourists or people, all right, to come over to Langkawi. Then due to this, after 1st April 2022, there will be no more. Okay, so there can anybody can go to Langkawi. Okay, so they also informs that discontinue this PCR test at the KLIA. Okay, last time, if you can see from the news, you know, every time we can see the people who would like to enter Malaysia, they need to do the PCR at the KLIA, you know. So that's one also discontinued already. And then my travel pass, okay, also already discontinued. So no more my travel pass. So can minimize the operation side. Okay, from here, I would say that, of course, to ease the employer or the individuals who would like to travel to Malaysia, and to exclude and minimize the cost, there is no more additional operation side, and also the additional cost incur after 1st April 2022. Okay, so let's see what will be the procedure for the inbound travelers from 1st May 2022. So this procedure actually been I would say announced, okay, after the Minister of Health, okay, they said, all right, effective 1st May 2022, anybody who would like to enter to Malaysia, either students, expatriate employees, tourists, anyone, okay, you must follow this procedure. There will be no more, they said, okay, there will be a category of the individuals here that you need to look at. Okay, so those are people are fully vaccinated and 13 years old and above. So they say, okay, pre-departure from, okay, any countries, okay, pre-departure, travelers card or MySejahtera, you need to have it. Okay, so you only need to have this traveler card MySejahtera. Okay, there will be no more quarantine. Okay, and what else that you need to do? Okay, there is no more PCR test. Okay, for 2 days before departure, or even supervised RTK AG test within the 24 hours of arrival. There will be no more quarantine upon arrival for those are fully vaccinated. Okay, then for children 12 years old and below, they said the same thing. You only need to have the travels card MySejahtera. At the MySejahtera, you need to upload it, okay, then to upload all the information and detail inside there, and must appear, okay, once everything approved, then in your MySejahtera system, there will be a traveler and appear as a traveler's card. So that is the one that needs to prove and provide to during the at the airport. Okay, so those are partially vaccinated or not vaccinated. For those are 17 years old and below. Okay, you need to do this. So inform all your employers or expats who wants to come over here in Malaysia. Yeah, pre-departure from, you need to make sure, of course, you must have the traveller's card MySejahtera. And you need to do the PCR pre-departure test 2 days before you depart from your country, okay, from their country, and to make sure that you supervise within 24 hours from upon arrival, needs to do another one, yeah, and to make sure that is negative. If it's positive, okay, then straight will be sent to the COVID center. Okay, then of course, for this category, quarantine upon arrival are not necessary. Okay, full partial vaccinated or not vaccinated, those are 17 years old and below. How about those are partial vaccinated and not vaccine? Okay, not vaccinated at all. 18 years old and above. Okay, they need to do all this. You must make sure to have the pre-departure, must have the traveller card MySejahtera, must do the PCR test 2 days before depart, and needs to have a supervised 24 hours upon arrival, and quarantine. You still need to be quarantined upon arrival for 5 days. Okay, so this information is important for you as an employer so that you can inform your expatriate employees, then do the necessary arrangement. Okay, so that's, I think, the information for the immigration, I would say, is not so much, okay, but it's important for you to know and understand about it, because if I'm not mistaken, or if we talk about the ESD system, okay, the ESD system since November, they already have new features, okay, and the arrangement to do the endorsement also is different. So for now, it still continue for 2022. Okay, so that's it. I just want to say about the updates during 2022 for immigration, because I believe that you also aware for other updates which is still relevant and you need to follow since 2021. Okay, so I think if you do have any queries or any issues maybe about the immigration, okay, please feel free to ask me via email, or maybe you can put it in the chat, okay, so that I can see it, whether I can answer it if there is any latest updates towards that. Okay, so when we talk about the expatriate, today's session, unfortunately, I'm not covered so much about the foreign workers, but I just want to share with you as well, okay, verbally, because recently in the news, if you can see, and also you can read it, okay, I can say that there is a lot of information that wants to know about the foreign workers, correct or not? Okay, so but what the rumors, there is a lot of rumors and hoo-ha around the line, is there is any updates or any additional requirement for the foreign workers who wants to enter and work in Malaysia. Okay, and if there is any news about the levy, is it the levy will increase If there is any issues, who's the supplier? How about the agreement between, especially from Malaysia and Indonesia, or Malaysia in Philippines, is a normal. So if what else, the process and procedure, is there is any updates towards this? And honestly speaking, until today, as of today, right, this morning, there is no specific announcement made by the MID as far relating to the foreign workers. Okay, so if either the news says that okay, there will be a new card, okay, for the employer will have a card basis or for the foreign workers to come over, right, to work in Malaysia. Maybe this is some of the additional initiative, but then the procedure still unknown. Therefore, you need to make sure that you keep yourself updated. Okay, keep yourself updates on the issues and news relating to the immigration. Right? So because I believe that immigration is not only talking about, when we talk about the foreigners, okay, it belongs to, is either foreign workers, right, or even the expatriate, okay, blue collar or the white collar people to bring in and work in Malaysia. Yes, no doubt that Malaysia really needs all the special and workforce, and also the manpower or local, which is a local can do. So that's why we really need the foreigners to help us to continue the operation. Okay, so I think I want to stop on the tax. So why not we see for tax updates? All right, tax updates. For today, I just want to say from my observation, overall observation, there is no such significant changes in tax, which will leads to the major impact to the employers and employees or even individuals related matters. Okay, I'm not talking about the company's level, yeah, but I'm talking about the employees on the tax or individuals related matters. Okay, so because whatever that been announced during the budget 2022, it's time for the IRB, Malaysian Inland Revenue Board, to implement and put it enforcement. Okay, but overall, for the critical or risk impactful is not much. The way that I can see from the IRB's point of views, they are looking for the improvement and also implement of some of the rules. Okay, and they are trying to educate the people or public, okay, to share the information, and they want to educate the individuals or even all the public, and they want to make sure that you aware about it so that they can do the enforcement easily. Okay, so that's why not I just want to share a bit about the latest updates for the first half of the year 2022. Okay, then this information I took from the newsletter Hasil Edition, which is issued by the Inland Revenue Board, and of course from the other irrelevant information and also practical experience during the period. And I want to share and give you a brief information about the area and relating to the employment tax, individuals as well. Okay, maybe this will help you and something that you are not aware, and maybe today you know about it and you know how to implement or to react, and what will be the next step that you need to aware of. Okay, all right. In January, what happened? Okay, so I believe as well you knows about, there is a news relate to, the government, which is Inland Revenue Board, able to direct access to the bank accounts of each of the individuals because the act has been enforced. Okay, they put in the new rules or act, right? To say that they have authority to have a direct access and get all the information. So when this happened, everybody actually look for how about the PDBA, the PNC? This is all the information is PNC. By right information relating to the bank accounts, the banker or the bank institution are not be able to reveal it to any parties unless is approved or granted by the individuals. Okay, so that's why they said, okay, not all parties are involved in this situation. Government, which is the IRB, only can access any bank accounts of the individuals if only limited to the case involving the garnishing orders allowed by the court. So they said, not all. Don't afraid about it. We are not go straight to the bank and ask the information, about you. But then those are under this category of the individuals. IRB will ask directly to the bank without informing the parties, okay, and is allowed by the court. Okay, so you still can say, release. So if you do have, income, which is income from other countries, you are not declaring it, or maybe you have the other income for online business as the stockist agent, but you not notify the Inland Revenue Board on the declaration of income, you feel still okay, still release. Okay, but not here. What happened now? I will share with you afterwards. Okay, all right. So due to the budget 2022, they also inform, okay, I want to implement the TIN, tax identification number, effective 1st January 2022. Okay, just yesterday or last 2 days in the news, if you read it, okay, there will be a news about the prefix SG number or OG number. Okay, as the individuals, is either you have the business income is under OG, or you have non-business income under SG. They said they talk about somehow along the line with the prefix number. Okay, when we talk about the TIN number, by right it should not be affected for those are existing individuals who already have the income tax number. Okay, so their intention actually to make sure that all the Malaysian citizen 18 years old, you see it? Okay, 18 years old and above, okay, they want to have the prefix of having the TIN number, which is the income tax number for each of you. IRB will do this by phases. Okay, so the question here, okay, by right and in the law says that you need to declare your income, file your tax return if you are chargeable to tax. So due to this implementation of TIN, okay, 18 years old and above, you have chargeable income or chargeable to tax or not chargeable to tax, you receive the tax number. But the issue around the line here is, if you're not chargeable to tax, what you need to do if you already have the income tax number prefixed to you. So this is something that Inland Revenue Board maybe also, okay, work on it and to ensure that what will be the next step and process if they do this. Okay, based on my view and what I can see here, there is a lot of operation side needs to do, and for those are individuals who are not aware how. Okay, so this is something that you need to see. If you do have children above 18 years old, maybe still studying, is it they're still studying, even though study, but if the students actually do the online business, do a stockist, they should declare their tax. Maybe this is the initiative from the government to make sure that they knows everything about the individuals in Malaysia and to make sure that they are declared their tax. Okay, so somehow there is no proper and also announcement, arrangement or requirement towards this yet. So we just look and see what's next. Okay. All right, employer. As you as employer, for YA 2021 employers return, have you submitted online or not? Okay, and you already disseminate the remuneration statement, which is EA, on time or not. So the Inland Revenue Board also already issue the written form filing program for YA 2022 early January to highlight and inform the public, hey, employer, you need to do this. Individuals, you need to do this. So they already inform you early of the year. So by right, you already submit. Okay, you already submitted your tax return, individuals or even the employers, which is Form E. Remember, if you do have a dormant company, also need to submit the Form E. If you not do so, the time's already lapsed. Please just submit the tax return. Yes, penalty still can be imposed. Right? Rather than IRB come over and audit you, more worse. So better you do and submit that now. Okay? All right. So that is about the employer's part. So what else? They said, okay, double tax agreement between Malaysia and Ukraine now available. Okay, previously it's not available, now it's available already. So those are nationalities or even any assignment or company related matters have with Ukraine. So you need to refer back to the DTA. What will be the rules? Discontinuation of FAQ on international tax issues due to COVID-19 travel restriction after 31st December 2021. So meaning that 1st January 2022, there will be no more excuse, okay? And this FAQ on the international tax issue discontinued. Right? So under this FAQ for international tax issues, they talk about what? They talk about the resident status of individuals, either the income need to report here in Malaysia or not, you know, that kind of things. Okay, so this already discontinued effective 1st January 2022. So February, what happened? So February, IRB wants to inform, hey, individuals, all right, it's February already, you need to check, all right, your e-filing system. You need to declare your income via e-filing system. You need to pay your tax and keep all the record for 7 years. Okay, so they want to highlight and give the awareness to the individuals, right? Then in February also, the IRB has the new Hasil Recovery Cost Center, HRC, for those queries relating or issues relating to tax payments and also stoppage orders. This is the new unit that you can call and do, right, and liaise with if you encounter issues relating to tax payment and stoppage orders, right? And the Inland Revenue Board also says during this February, they say, okay, you as individuals, your employer already remit the MTD for the past last year, for January 2021 until 31st December 2021. It's time for you to check before you file your tax return. All the MTD, monthly tax deduction, remitted to your accounts or not. You can check out via e-ledger, via MyTax under e-ledger. Okay, you need to log into your e-filing system, right? Or even you go straight to the MyTax, then after that you need to put in your username for the e-filing system and you can just check your status, if there is any outstanding tax or not, or if there is any refund that the government yet to refund it to you. So you need to check that. So e-filing system, they said open 1st March 2022. Yes, on the dot, the minute 1st March 2022, the e-filing system opened. So the employer can submit the tax return, the Form E via electronic, and the individuals also can file the return electronically. Okay, after 1st March 2022. So what happened in March and April? Okay, so March, during this period, okay, if you still can remember this, recall it back, it's time for you to submit your own tax return. Correct or not? So when you submit your own tax return, there is a kind of issues actually along the line relating to the tax reliefs. So that's why during that period, the Inland Revenue Boards give the awareness or kind of, inform you about certain issues that most of the taxpayers did it wrongly. Okay, especially on what are the serious disease. As you are aware as well, this is one of the tax relief of the medical expenses on the serious disease. And based on my experience too, okay, when I conduct or maybe I do the tax return for all the expatriate or even the individuals, this is the famous part that they want to claim. Serious disease, right? So unfortunately, the serious disease is only the treatment required for the long-term treatment required and is really serious disease. Example, AIDS, Parkinson, cancer, leukemia, right? Or else there will be the heart attack or even the pulmonary hypertension, right? Chronic liver disease. So all these chronic disease, you can claim of the tax relief up to 8,000. But somehow there will be say, okay, how about hypertension? Is it consider serious disease? Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm working from home, so I need to make a consultation and I'm very stressed. Is it still considered as a serious disease? So unfortunately, only bipolar disorder only be considered as the serious disease. So this is how along the line that you need to see if you still claim that in your tax return, upon audit, the IRB will disallow this relief and you will be imposed a penalty for incorrect return. Okay, so some goes with the COVID-19 tax relief, allowable expenses or donation. They state that, okay, COVID kit test can claim if you buy it for your own and also your family. All right, then this, you can put it, keep it in receipt, or even you do it RTK test or PCR test, that kind relating to this COVID-19 equipment or something that you need to prove it. You must have a receipt and make sure that you keep it for 7 years for the audit purposes, right? And of course, during this March also, right, as they terminate on the special income remittance program for foreign source income received in Malaysia by individuals resident other than the partnership income. Okay, I know when the government announced during the budget 2022 about the foreign source income will be taxed on the individual's resident. Okay, it's either company or individuals, everybody is actually, what happened? You still need to be taxed, how it goes about this. At the end, right, they already said, okay, fine. Those are under the criteria. Okay, those are individuals, resident, you receive the foreign source income other than partnership income. Okay, is exempted until 2026. No need to pay tax now. So don't think about it anymore. And they also terminate this program. By right, you need to voluntarily with the IRB. If you do have a foreign source income and go to the IRB, volunteer to do the voluntary disclosure on the foreign source income. But then they said no more. Okay, so there is no issue along the line about that already. Okay, so in April, okay, they also want to just highlight, since most of the taxpayers already submitted your own tax return, and of course you need to pay tax somehow and you need your money, correct? So the IRB also already upgrade and improve the ETT, meaning that telegraphic transfer, effective 1st April 2022. So all the payment from overseas can go to and can use this ETT already, okay, to ease the process. And for do it now, for the purpose of the tax refund, okay, so the Inland Revenue Board include this do it now as one of the option for the individual taxpayers, okay, or even the taxpayers or individual taxpayers to have this do it now, to select or opt this do it now for the purpose of remittance of the overpayment of tax. Okay, so by now, by right, you already receive your tax refund, suppose. Okay, so this is one of the initiative or option, okay, that the government propose and give it to the taxpayers. Okay, so application for amended BE. All right, now I know you already submitted your tax return, individual tax return, EBE. But if you found that you coincidentally, did it wrongly, right? You declare your income wrongly and you claim the tax relief wrongly. Okay, so you can do and submit the application amendment of the form EBE online. Okay, so you can do it now. So actually you can do it anytime from now on. So you from April onwards, basically you can do the amendment of the BE electronically. So that's what happened in April. So in May, tax refunds, the deadline submission of the individual return is 15 May, correct or not? Okay, so by right, you already received all your tax refund. So if you not receive your tax refund 30 days from the submission of the tax refund electronically, okay, meaning that you submit your tax return, e-filing, within the submission date, yeah, when you submit it, 30 days after that, you should receive the refund. If you use the hard copy tax return, submit it hard copy, then they said 90 days. Then they will refund it to you. But if you do it e-filing, you not receive your refund yet, so something wrong somewhere. Is it your file has been audited, but you are not aware about it? So better you check with the IRB of your branch what happened to your refund. Okay, and of course they also highlight and inform, hey, all the taxpayers, update your personal information, because they want to reach you out, to send out notices to you online via email. Okay, easy, right? So all the particulars about the address, the information, please update it accurately. So individual tax payment, they also inform, okay, it's time for you to make sure that you do a payment after you submit your tax return, right? The payment must be made by 15 May as well. Okay, if you use e-filing. So what you need to do, there is a mode of payment. You can do a payment via Hasil, FPX. There is a lot of mode of payment that you can do. So stoppage order, they also inform, okay, the revocation or temporary release. Okay, so many people receive this stoppage order. You cannot go out because there is outstanding taxes that you still not pay and you are blacklisted. Right? So they say due to this issue, even people to come back to Malaysia also got problem because of this stoppage order. Then they say, all right, I can give you a temporary release, right? But you need to pay 50% from the outstanding tax somehow. Okay, so this is kind of arrangement. So they highlight about this stoppage order. Okay, if you want to find out more, you can go and Google in the IRB's website. You can go and have a read about it, and you also can call the IRB if you do have any issues relating to the blacklist. Okay, so final reminder to declare. Of course, they still get a final reminder. You need to submit your tax return by 15 May. So that's it. This is what the IRB wants to make sure that you know and aware about it. Okay, along the line, maybe you're already aware about it. Okay, I'm done this, I've done this. But somehow, if there is anything that you can relook, or maybe something that you just aware about it now, so please do the next step, try to find out the solution and resolve it. Okay, what next? I just want to share something about you for the employer's obligation. Okay, all these are employer's obligation, but for today, I just want to focus on the area for current situation. What happened to the current situation? Employers in Malaysia actually is not satisfied at all, or even, have complained about these administrative things due to this law. Section 83.2, 83.3 and also 83.4 is about notifying new employees, cessation of employment, and employees leaving countries. So all these so administrative to the employer. And unfortunately, the government, Malaysia Tax Authority, are not put in place or do it in electronically. So everything needs to submit hard copy and submit it to the counter, and to make sure it's on time. Okay, just recap. Okay, if you already followed me previously, I also present about the employer's obligation and key highlight about it. So I just want to recap this. Did you do this or not? If you not do this, please do it as soon as possible. Okay, so you need to notify your new employees 30 days from the date of commencement. Use Form CP22. Okay, if there is a cessation of employees, okay, due to resignation, termination, retiring, okay, retirement, all right, not less than 30 days before the cessation or 30 days after the death of the inform of the death, must submit CP22A for the public sector. Okay, for CP22B for public sector. For us is CP22A. All right. So if any of the employees leaving countries more than 90 days, please notify IRB via CP21 not less than 30 days before expected to depart from Malaysia. All these three is so administrative. But what need to do? This is your obligation, then the government already enforced it. Just recent updates about this has been announced in the website, and we aware about it when we have a discussion with the tax officer, and they said, all right, I want to make sure that it's clear to everybody. This is all the criteria of incomplete form CP21, 22, 22A, and 22B, which is unacceptable. They said if it notification incomplete, the return is incomplete, they will not process it and they will issue a letter. Of course, what to do is either delay or failure to submit, they will issue you a compound under 120 sub 1C. Okay, so they inform failure to use the prescribed form. Please use the correct form in the website. Fill in the information using unauthorized method. You need to use it white, black, pen. Okay, so you can read it in the website actually. Okay, I just want to have a glance on this. Form submitted using unauthorized method. Okay, must submit it hard copy. No more fax, no more email. No more relaxation on this. You must do it hard copy. But the IRB said in 2023, they will do one system that the employers can submit this form electronically. Okay, so just wait on it, all right? So if not, you just submit it hard copy. Omission to provide information in the form because the information as the employer is wrong, maybe. So omission to provide employees information in the form. So employees detail, employees particular are wrong. So employer is responsible to make sure it's accurate. Okay, so omission to provide amount of remuneration information in the form, meaning that you omit or maybe you did wrongly to amount of the remuneration in the form. Okay, please make sure it's accurate. Okay, no complete date. There is no date on it. Dates referring to what date? Is the commencement date, right? When is the commencement date? And what else dates? Any dates that the birth date, okay, the date of birth of the employees. What else? The date of the form. Okay, so any dates inside there, you must make sure it's accurate. So the particular given to the declaration section, this is the important part. There is a declaration section that you need to sign off. You need to stamp, company stamp. You need to complete the name, your designation, the date inside there properly. Otherwise, it's considered unacceptable. Okay, so consequences if you not do this. Easy. IRB said not less than 200 and not exceeding 20,000 or 2 imprisonment not exceeding 6 months or both. This is considered a offense. If you have new employees who chargeable to tax or likely chargeable to tax, but you fail to notify to the Inland Revenue Board, per offense, one employee is 200 not exceeding 20,000. So if you have a newcomer or new joiner, for example, 10 in the month or maybe 5 in the month, so the range will be 200 up to 20,000. They can be 200, they can be 300, they can be 1,000 each offense. Each offense. So it's similar if you not notify CP21 or even you are not notifying the employer's return. So this is all the penalty. Okay. So now it's something that you maybe not put in practice. And at this moment, some of the employers already reached out to us to say, hey, Mona, we received the compound for the failure of the notifying of this, this form, right? And the total compound for 2 years, actually, I need to pay 15,000. So how I'm going to do this? Can I do appeal and do something about it? Whatever been passed, right? And you've been compound, what you need to do is either there is a high chance for you to do appeal. If yes, there is a high chance for you to do appeal, why not? Give a supporting document, write a specific appeal, then go and meet the IRB officer, then get them to waive those are not necessary, or maybe those are can be supported with the evidence. Okay, so this is how that you need to do. But if you already doing it, please continue to do it. Make sure you do it properly and on time. Okay, so this is what I can say, that as an employer, due to this section, you need to add on more work to you, which is more administrative for you. But when we look at the enforcement, I think it's not worth it at all. When the IRB come audit, and they just, give you a letter of audit letter, then just because of not submit or maybe late submission, you've been compound for this area, I think this is something that you need to avoid. Okay, it's a cost. Yeah, so it's kind of okay. The law, the penalty also says that imprisonment. Who will go to imprisonment? Of course, it's not you, but the director of the company will go to the imprisonment. And no doubt there is a case law, right? The court, the case law, or even court case that the director has been, imprisonment and compound because not only this section, but due to the MTD. PCB, wrong PCB, not deduct the PCB for certain category of employees. So all these, I think, is something that you must make sure you not do it wrong. Yes, admin work, but then you need to do what you should do. Okay. Now, something that we can help you out here. Employers tax filing. If you having problem to prepare and submit the e-filing return, we are able to assist. Or even you actually facing a problem to submit the relevant forms due to Section 83, which is the notifying new employees whatsoever. Okay, so that one we are able to assist. If you are facing any compound letter or any court case, we are able to support you and to see whether if there is a chance for you to do appeal. We do the early assessment first. And of course, we can help you to set up the internal SOP on the employer's tax obligation. What you need to do when these individuals come in, when these individuals resign, when these individuals leaving country, so etc. etc. Okay, then in terms of immigration, we are able to assist you to apply the work pass, employment pass, professional visit pass for West Malaysia, Labuan, Sabah, Sarawak. Those Labuan, we only can assist for the ESD registered. For under Labuan Act, that one needs to do manual. At this moment, we have no assistant in Labuan to do this. Yeah. So WRT license, which is the wholesale, retail and trade license, we are able to assist for those are retailers, right? Please, or trading. So please, we are able to assist you to obtain this license and apply for the resident pass talent. If the expatriates already here in Malaysia for more than 3 years, okay, it's time to consider to apply for this RPT. Okay, it's good for the tax for the individual, for the expatriate to have this RPT, so that no need to apply for the work permit, renew, do, and can work with other company as well without applying for the permit. All right, so I think Sean, this is all from me. Okay, for those people are not subscribed our mailing list, please take your phone, screenshot this, okay, then you can get free free mailing, and somehow you can join us for complimentary training. So I think, Sean, let's see what will be the question that we have for today.
Yes, thank you very much. We had some questions that are sent in prior, right? So first question is, I think it's quite obvious, the MySafe travel portal, home quarantine, this kind of stuff. I think you already alluded, right, that these
Yes.
are all cancelled, right?
Yeah.
Right.
From 1st April 2021 onwards, there will be no longer require apply approval for home quarantine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then, but the issue here just under the MySejahtera apps. Need to have that travel card.
But then this extend to that when you say that those that are partially vaccinated,
yes,
and unvaccinated, they need
Yeah.
5 days. So
Quarantine 5 days.
do home quarantine on that?
Yeah, that one has still need to quarantine of 5 days.
Yeah, but
because
can they do it from home or they have to go to a center?
to the I think for this is actually to the center.
Okay. There is
okay,
no
at this
option
moment
for home quarantine.
Yeah, no home quarantine. Okay, so far. All right, because otherwise we cannot control these people when they reach out here. Okay.
But I think for an unvaccinated person, he is more afraid of us because we are all fully vaccinated, right?
True.
Okay, next question.
All right, next question. Quite interesting, even though it's in May, but maybe something maybe it's a problem here lah.
Okay, the employment pass, okay, expired 1st May. Employer received email notifying there's approval. However, was endorsed 5th. So there was a gap, right?
Yeah, gap. Yeah. So either can allow to work or not. All right. Is the employer allowed to pay salary? This is something. I think it's the norm during the area, in April onwards. During early April, I think this happened lah. Okay. What I can say here, the employee is still allowed to work. Okay, and the employer still can pay the salary, because here what's the issue? The EP has been submitted and approved. Anything happen here is the proven. So I think it should not be a problem.
I mean, at the end of the day, if they were personal tax PCB deducted and given to the, I don't think in a way they will look at it too closely lah. This is because it's only a short period in between. What about the cases where the lapse between the expiry and the final approval can be maybe 3-4 months?
Oh, okay, Sean. When you talk about this, it's more to the overstay already.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's come to the overstay, is go and please immediately react on this and get the special pass. Okay, because by right there should not be a gap anymore. So unless there is certain reason, because to apply for the special pass also is not easy, because due to this after 1st April onwards, what we can say when we have we need to assist our expats as well. Okay, but this is the experience, based on our experience and also conversation with the immigration officers. This round is no more. It's not easily to get this special pass. What's the evidence? What else? So there is a lot of information and documents that they need. Yeah, please have it properly. Okay.
All right.
Next. Yep.
All right. CP20. Yeah. We spoke about this. I can't remember last year, right? When you first gave your webinar on this, the CP22A. Okay. Again, it's true. These are questions that asked again when a person resigns. We don't know. There's a gap in between. There is also things like commission is calculated till only at the end of the year or something like that. So that's very difficult in between to be able to inform by CP22A. So here it says that the lapse of the, again, when you discover when the person coming back or not coming back, when do you submit? Isn't it?
Okay. I practical side, when we want to match back practical side and also the technical based on the IRB, because IRB go for technical. Okay. So from here, what I can say that if the individuals, which is you found that is left country, meaning after 3 months or more, then you really need to go and meet the IRB officer and submit the CP21 instead, immediately. Just notify them because you are not aware. But then, of course, the time bar is still 3 months if the date of the departure. Okay, so if you know already, then you do it immediately. So there is no way. So this is what's that I just can share. All right. Question number 4.
Okay, CP22 for new employees, submit via email as for working from home.
Okay.
Okay, I think this one again.
Administrative. Unfortunately, no more email.
Yeah.
Everything needs to print, need to sign, need to stamp, company stamp, and go to the counter of the employees IRB's branch and submit it. Okay. There is no email, there is no electronic at this moment.
Right. Okay. Right.
Anything else? I think no more. Maybe okay. Wait.
I've one in I've got a few in the chat.
Yes, in the chat.
First one is that if the personal tax refund not received yet, what can we do?
Wow. Okay, I give you step by step. First, if you not yet receive it, you need to call the IRB collection unit of your branch. Okay. When they said, oh, the status, normally the status not yet received, okay, or maybe not processed. Then, if it's not processed, ask them what will be the issue. Then, of course, I'm sure they will tell you your file been audited. When your file has been audited, meaning that you need to go and check the assessment unit. Right, if there is any way for you to expedite the process because you not receive any letter or anything, maybe. So you can get them to advise you what actually the information and document that they want from you, so that can expedite that process and the refund can be refunded to you after everything settled. Okay,
Yeah,
so that is what I can say.
yes, I have a personal experience that I submitted my tax return online. It's personal, and everything's in. And then I received an email from IRB saying that I have, I can't remember the exact word. It's got to do with I have completed the tax return, but I have not submitted, something like that.
Ah, oh yes, yes. I think if okay, I encountered that scenario as well for my client, but then unfortunately, actually the tax return yet to be submitted.
Hmm.
In the system, you already until to the end of the process, but then you not click the button submit. Okay, but in the situation of my client, actually, he said, I already clicked the button submit, but suddenly, something happened, all right, due to the internet or something, then it's locked him out from the e-filing system. So he said that everything done, but unfortunately, it's yet to be submitted. It's still there.
I know.
So that's why important is actually you need to have the submitted slip.
I even have the print
Mhm.
submission.
Okay, you already have the submitted slip. Okay, by right, the refund should be already can be processed.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is what the issue by right, because if it's not processed, is it they're talking about any issues relating to the prior years one?
I don't know because I went back in and tried to submit or
I
put
mean,
something up. It didn't allow me, so I wrote back to them and say, look, I've submitted. This is the evidence.
yeah.
What's it? Then very cryptic answer lah. They come back. You're under evaluation or something.
Actually, they want to audit your file. That's it. This is what I can say. Anyhow, I think it's good to go and get the assessment unit to check your file accurately so that you can prove any information or documents that they want. So it's much better for that way. Okay. So, Sean, I think I just want to highlight one about the quarantine just now. You said it's home quarantine or in the center. So for effective 1st April 2022, they are looking for the home civilian, meaning that home quarantine only.
Okay. All right.
But of course, they must have the girl or something. Okay.
All right. So it is not
not to the center already.
Okay. Yeah. So automatically there will be
home.
Home quarantine, but it's actually home surveillance.
Home surveillance. Okay.
Maybe
there is no more digital tracker that device. That device is so canggih.
Yeah.
Actually, those are people go to US, London, and come back. They have that. Wow, that's very. I would say wow, expensive.
The Apple phone, Apple Watch.
Yeah, it's really like that. Okay. Any.
The next question is I don't know what it means. I say, what is the major significant changes in the taxation part of what? I don't know.
Okay. So I think maybe they want to know the overall of this during this period. I can say from January up to June, which is now, all right, until today. The critical and the significant or major changes, I didn't say it. All right. So only improving and efficiency and implement whatever that they already announced during the budget slowly. And I can say as well, there is no public ruling yet which is relevant or relatively relates to the employer. For example, remuneration, taxable or not taxable. If there is any new public ruling on it, so far no more, not yet. Okay. So quite slow at this moment.
The next one is about clearance of income tax for domestic voyage crew. Sailors,
Okay.
right?
Tax clearance. When we talking about domestic is local employees. This is what my understanding. All right. If is relating to the clearance, right? If the clearance, if the person is actually needs to go in and out because of the maybe voyage or cruise, I would say, right? They need to go maybe 2 months, go overseas, yeah, go ship, then after that come back again and go again. So the issue here, IRB says that on the clearance part, if the frequent interval in and out, and you have a reason towards that, it's not necessary to do the clearance unless you know that this person will be just left like that. Okay, but then again, this is something that I just want to advise is the best for you as the employer to get the confirmation specifically for your company situation relating to this cruise.
Okay.
Because I received a lot of issues and also IRB's compound, especially those are cruise in the frequent interval. Some of it, they're not allowed. They say, why? I still need that. You know, you need to notify within 30 days. But then the nature of the work itself is like that. So better get the confirmation from the IRB specifically for your company of your employees.
Okay, last one here.
Yeah.
I think it's a follow-up on the first thing about the refund not received. So if a person were to come and see you, Mona Lisa, to say, hey, can you help me check?
Can. I can check and can help you to check. But then of course, if I help you to check, I need to prove the tax appointment letter as a tax agent of the individuals.
Okay, right. Yeah. Answers all, and thank you for the good update. We don't have any more questions, and we are just about correct time. Again, thank you, Mona Lisa. Thank you for watching. This is another Crow MICCI Expert Hour. Stay tuned for more stuff to come. And wish you all good luck, good business, and don't forget pay your taxes. You know, the country really needs it. Mona Lisa, right?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you to all. Bye.